Our youth are our future. The more I think about this, I realize it's true. What our youth learn and depend on decides what happens in this world. I often have heard debates of children and violent video games, fatty foods, and too much time spent on devices and how it is affecting them. I wish we talked about more the harmful effects of pornography. In my last speech, I discussed an overview of pornography statistics, how it affects the brain, and how it is related to human trafficking. In this speech, I will go over what it is doing to our youth in particular, how there is almost no regulation on porn in the US, and why that is a problem. To refresh your memory, here are a few numbers. Pornhub, one of the leading porn websites in the world, reported in the year 2015 that 4,392,486,580 hours of porn were watched. Remember, that is 2.5 times longer than we have been on Earth. According to the Google Top 1000 in 2014, porn sites collectively got more monthly visitors than Netflix, Amazon, and Twitter combined. From these numbers, it is easy to tell it is not just a small group of people watching porn. It is a large percentage of the population, whether it is just casual gazing or an actual addiction. According to the AFAO, the American Family Association Outreach, in 1997, shared that the average age of first contact with porn was 11. Pornography usually starts at a young age. Also a reminder, the word pornography comes from the Greek word porne, which means prostitute, and graphein, which means documentation. So pornography literally means documented prostitution. Just think about that. Now I want to use an analogy. How many of you have ever seen any Nicholas Sparks movie or read a book? Yeah, a few? Okay. Well, if you haven't, a quick synopsis of pretty much everyone, it's a gooey, magical love story. Okay, now how many of you have thought, or maybe in some way still think, that you will meet your spouse or partner or lifelong companion by either being saved while drowning, or he or she will happen to find a picture of you somewhere and spend their life tracking you down, and then you'll be in love forever? Doesn't work like that. Even if it does, it will never be as perfect as a movie. But why does a big part of us, or maybe a little part of us, think that it will happen this way? It's because of these movies. We see it and it is ingrained in our mind. We almost lust after that. And we feel like it's our fault if it doesn't happen that way. We learn from them. Well, porn has the same effect on our youth and us, with even more detrimental consequences. When we watch porn, we let what is happening in it become normal or real. We subconsciously are learning that every woman can bend or move in that way, or every man must have some good stuff going on down there. Again, that is not the case. Even past that, you look at the subsections on every major porn site, and they all have a bondage or brutality section. While I was doing my research, I even came across one that had a rape section. If a 9-year-old boy or girl sees bondage porn without really knowing what it is, what is it teaching that boy? That aggressiveness and control are normal in sexual situations? What is the girl learning? That she needs to be that way and submit to that kind of treatment, even if she doesn't want to? That to feel worthy of love, you must first feel worthy of sex. I know you've probably all heard the recent releasing of the recording of Donald Trump, but I will read a snippet just to give you an example of the porn in our culture. Trump said, "Yeah, that's her with the gold. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I am automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything." He later went on to say, "Grab him by the pussy. You can do anything." I wish I could say that he's objectifying women because he's a celebrity and feels like he's above everyone else. But like he went on to argue, this is how a lot of people speak. Locker room banter, he called it. That's the sad part, is I agree. I hear talk like this on campus, at work, and especially in the media and on the street. Pornography absolutely fuels this because we learn that it is okay, and that's just how we act. It is not okay. Now let's move on to pornography regulation. In the UK in 2014, they banned British producers from making any porn that included aggressive whipping, penetration by any object that is associated with violence, physical and verbal abuse, role-playing as non-adults, physical restraint, humiliation, strangulation, and others. In the US, we have pretty much one law that regulates porn. The US state law is that the age of the people involved in the porn must be 18 and older. But no one checks that out. Pornography distributors are just supposed to keep documentation that the people in their videos and photos are over the age of 18 in case they are investigated. The number of times sites have been investigated is small, and usually their records are not well organized and they're simply let off the hook. That's it. So here's the big problem with that. Pornography fuels sex trafficking because of the demand for new porn and new faces. You can't go on a site and know for sure if what you are watching includes prostitution or sex slaves because of the lack of regulation. Yes, maybe if it's one of the major porn stars, but that is not the majority anymore. Without regulation, you don't know what you're watching. There's even been reports of sites now that take photos from social media, which are public, and place them on pornographic images and videos without that person ever knowing because it's not regulated, so they can't get in trouble for it. I want my kids and the kids I know to grow up knowing how great sex is with a person and how connecting to people in that way is important. I want them to know that what is okay and that their body is okay. I want them to feel safe and keep others safe. If we could in some way tighten regulation on pornography, it could help sex trafficking, rape, objectification, and the overall understanding of sex. Similar to the UK, if we could regulate certain things that cannot be included on regular porn sites, it would leave less room for just stumbling upon these graphic and degrading images. I think sex trafficking is sickening and terrifying. And though I know all porn isn't victims, a portion of it is. And that risk is not worth it to me. I challenge all of you to research and decide what pornography is worth and if the consequences outweigh the benefits.
All right.